fired the Commissioner of Labor Statistics. That's the person who runs the numbers. Let's bring in Axiom Strategies' Erin Maguire and former California GOP chairwoman Jessica Milan Patterson. Thank you both for coming on. Erin, to you first. You heard President Trump just say what he said about the whole Bureau of Labor Statistics. Well, on July 3rd, the Washington Post wrote the following here: why some fear government data on the U.S. economy is losing integrity. It goes on to say these challenges could have real-world consequences beyond Washington, from Wall Street trading floors to Main Street boardrooms. Government benchmarks are vital to businesses, investors, and consumers making decisions about hiring, spending, and borrowing. Now, people rely on these job numbers, and they have, been a mess in over the past year plus.
Absolutely. These numbers are critical not only to the United States, but global markets, and have global implications. There is a credibility issue right now. Imagine every day you go in to do your job, you have to file one big report every month. And every month after that, you have to go back and fix it. I can't imagine you'd keep your job very long. And if the issue was the information you were given to have that report done, that was the problem. You should have addressed it before. There is a totality of breakdown of information here, and the president is finally holding somebody accountable. We need to trust the numbers the government is putting out. And when it gets revised every month, there are absolutely questions that should be answered, and this should be fixed, because we shouldn't have to question what is actually happening with the job market in the United States.
Yeah. Meantime, here's Joe Biden last night. Not sounding great. Jessica, watch.
He's doing his best to dismantle the Constitution. Oh, I'm being deadly earnest, man. The rulings they've made. My God. Folks, in our lives, the life of our nation, there are moments so stark that they divide all that came before from everything that followed.
Nice to see he's still hitting the same themes, Jessica, where the district judges that hate Trump are great and the Supreme Court not so great.
Well, first of all, I don't think the former president is doing himself any favors. Right now, while many of his former staff members are being brought in front of Congress to talk about his mental capabilities, I don't think these speeches are doing him any favors. But on top of that, when we talk about these judges, President Biden appointed 120 judges that were based mostly off of demographics. President Trump has came in and he said he is focused on bringing in people that have earned it, that are merit-based. And I think that's what Americans are looking for. When you see that 56% of independents think that Democrats are spending too much time checking boxes, you know it's a problem.
Yeah. Meantime, Education Secretary Linda McMahon on giving education money and power back to the states. Watch.
And if we're going to return education to the states, and that just means giving them back the part that is now provided, by the federal government, and they're anxious for it. They're very happy because the states now provide about 90% of their own budget. So this is about 10% of the budget coming back.
Now, if they could only give these kids a choice and where they can go to school so they can get a better education, Aaron, we might be onto something.
One small step at a time when it comes to education reform in the United States. But this is a great first step. Republicans know less government is better government, and returning something as personal and local as education decisions back to the states in order to meet the needs of their students, that is critical and a huge success for the American people. We are watching an entire generation of students right now coming out of the COVID era who are behind when it comes to math and reading and science and the skills needed to be the greatest generation of Americans to come. We need to be local teachers will know better than the D.C. bureaucrats on how to address those needs for students. I am proud to see that this is happening. This opens up education to the students. And we know when you get D.C. out of the way and you let parents and teachers educate students, you're going to get better outcomes.
Yeah. Lastly, Jessica, here's Mark Meredith, one of our correspondents, asking Trump about the tariff rebates. Here's the back and forth.